School is not building your child. School is breaking your child. However, it takes wisdom to acknowledge that and swallow it. Please stay with me. I'm going to show you the whole journey from your child's birth to the age of graduation, where they enter the real world when they have gone through what I call the imported school factory system, or what you call school. And then I'm also going to show you the other side of the red pill, where people like I made a decision to curate our own curriculum so that our kids do not become adults that ask what the country can do for them, but rather ask what they can do for their country, because they were nurtured not to become employees, but to become creators, to become owners. Who is speaking before you? My name is Daniella. I am building the first institution in Africa that is producing billionaire CEOs under the age of 19. Why? Because I refused to let my kids be the only free ones. I pulled my kids out of the imported school factory system because I wanted a different test of education for them that molds them to be purpose-aware individuals, to be creators, to be owners, to be leaders, to be thinkers, to be producers, and not obedient employees, not beggars, not guys that are waiting for permission to be great. Does that make sense? What does that implicate? It does implicate that I have a skin in this game. I'm not speaking from theory. Stay with me. Let's go. Now, the blue pill. This is the world. Do you remember that scene in the Matrix where Morpheus shared with Neo? I'm going to give you two pills, the blue pill and the red pill. The blue pill, you stay the way you are, believing the world they positioned before your eyes. That makes you comfortable. You do not question. You feel like, yes, everything's right. And also I'm going to share with you the red pill, where you need to question and make a fundamental decision to see that you live the world you believe you must live in. So what does it mean? It does mean you are going to make a choice whether you let your child stay in school or you join me and we build owners, not at age 25 but at age 3. Make sense? Stay with me. Let's start with the blue pill. Blue pill. Between the ages of 0 to 3, this, I call it the CEO year. CEO years. Here, your child is a CEO. Here, your child is curious, creative. Here, the child asks, yes, curious, asks a lot of questions. Oh, mommy, why? Daddy, why? So in the day, this child asks like, why? 300 times. But what happens? Because the parent went through a system that stopped them from questioning. Here's what happens. The parent tells the child, please stop. Stop it. Why are you asking a lot of questions? What's wrong with you? Please, why? That is too much. So what happens? Curiosity is hit. Curiosity is hit. And when you hit curiosity, you hit creativity, because creativity comes from being curious. Make sense? Now, the child is no longer a CEO in the making. Let's move. Between the ages of 3 to 6, what happens? I call this the first prison. The first prison. What happens here? Because you are tired of the child who is asking a lot of questions, mommy, why? Daddy, why? You feel like, you need to have some space. You need to cool down. After all, you're thinking about your job, you're thinking about money, so you no longer want to be stressed by the child who is asking why. So what do? You send the child to their first prison, that I call kindergarten. Kindergarten. So when they hit this place, they are made to sit for hours. So even when their body feels like moving. They're told, please sit down. Ask for permission. If they want to pee, they have to first ask for permission. Want to drink water, first ask for permission. So they're made to sit with other kids and instructed that do not question. The teacher is always right. Stay with me. What more? They're told, draw the mango fruit the same way, same color. Think the same. This is where it all begins. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Now, the first prison. Let's move. Between the ages of 7 to 14, I call this the standardization factory. The standardization, yes. Standardization factory. I call this the standardization factory. Here, your child hits primary. Conformity starts here. Conformity starts. They hit primary, where they are made to sit 50 in a classroom. 50 in the classroom, one roof, but kids of different talents, different gifts, different passion, different strength, and of course weaknesses. But they are made to sit under one roof, be taught by one teacher, respectfully, a stressed guy, because they also lost who exactly they are. So one teacher, same book, same pen, same questions, and same answers. So what does this signal? It signals to think the same, do everything the same, act the same way. Do not question, just be the same. This is called standardization. They kill individuality. Does that make sense? Primary. So here, we push. This is 14 years. Now we push 15 to 19. I call this the comparison trap. The comparison trap. The comparison trap. What do I mean by this? Comparison. Here, your child has hit secondary level, secondary school. As the child leaves home, you tell the child, you know what? You are going into secondary. You either become number one or you are a failure. It makes sense? So when the child hits class, the teacher tells the child, you must compete. So they are told to compete for grades, but not competition about creativity. They are told to sit down, become number one, or they'll fail. They are useless. Yes, number one or useless. So they are told to cram photosynthesis, but they cannot plant a tree. They know nothing about how to plant a tree and make it yield money. They know all rivers in Africa, but they don't know, or they don't have any stream of income. They have crammed all cash crops, but not how to touch money, because they are not even allowed to touch money. Does that make sense? They are made to compete for grades and not creativity. Yes, they cannot even solve a community problem. So here you have a 19-year-old boy or girl who knows all that, but know not how to earn. Who knows how to beg for 10,000 Uganda shillings, but not how to earn it. Knows how to beg for 10,000 Uganda shillings, but not how to have it without spending it. So they have gone through school to learn useless stuff, not to be productive. Does that make sense? Because comparison is taking place. It is taking place. What happens? You have your child as a fish, but when they enter school, because the school system measures intelligence the same way, so the fish is measured by its ability to climb a tree. So when your child who is a fish fails to climb a tree, what happens? They are dumb. They're told you're dumb. They're punished. They're punished. What more? Do you remember those days when teachers told us, oh, you're failing, you're performing poor. You wait for your dad during on visitation day. You will see. I'll talk to him. So parents are called. Why? Because the child didn't climb a tree, yet the child is a fish. Now teachers lack the wisdom to acknowledge whether the child is a fish that is meant to swim or is a bird that is meant to fly. They only have one way of measuring performance, creativity, intelligence, etc. of that caliber. Please stay with me. Let's look at data. So fish, all that. Now let's push to 20 to 25. Between 20 to 25, now this, I call it the graduation let's call it gang. Here, this is where the child hits the university. So what happens? Because after all, the costs of education are high, some move further to consume loans, of which they don't know when they will pay the loans. After all, they even don't know how to earn money, but they are being given loans. So they are already in debt. Now see, because the cost of education is high, what happens? The son or the daughter tells a parent, you know what, mom, daddy, can you sell the cow? Can you sell the land so that I continue with education? Though I call it miseducation. So what happens? At the age of 25, your son, your daughter they graduate. But this is what data states. Data states, like for example, last year, 2025, 700,000 graduated. But out of 700,000, how many got employed? It is only 90,000 that got jobs. And out of 90,000, 80% of 90,000 got jobs, not of their dreams. So what happens? When they hit 30, 40, they feel unfulfilled. They feel unsatisfied. So they switch careers, trying to answer the question of who am I? The question that would have been answered age 3, age 6, as you're going to see with the red pill you're likely to swallow. Just like I did. Cool. Now, because now 610 remain employed on paper, but not in reality, not in the marketplace. And let me go deeper. 35% of the 610 take the certificates back to parents, and they're like, mommy, daddy, here's your thing. That's all you wanted. Please allow me go do the thing of my DNA that lies in my DNA. But look at all the years that were wasted because as a parent you wanted them to have a certificate. Because the school system lied to you. Make a decision. We're looking at the blue pill. You are yet to earn, to vomit. Stay with me. Now what happens? You have a 25-year-old. Cool. Stay with me. Now what happens? You have a 25-year-old who has graduated with a degree in the left hand and a depression in the right hand. I started by sharing with you that school doesn't build your child, it breaks them down. But I just mentioned the child. It does not only break the child, but it breaks the whole family. Because now the child is stressed. Because the child believed that, oh, when they go through the school system, they will land jobs. School doesn't promise jobs. Nah, you get it the wrong way. School promises certificates. But what certificates? For what? For being compliant. Thank you so much for coming at age 3 and sit down, listen to us for all these years. You've not caused any chaos. Please, thank you. Here is your certificate. Now go out there. There is that guy you will find who made a decision to build something, solve a problem, and that person will look at you and be like, oh, come in. Oh, what do you have? Oh, okay. What is your CV? Oh, you aren't disciplined? Make sense? So, and then they give you permission to work. That is what happens with the school factory system. I've been telling you, it does not only break the child, but breaks the entire family. Because remember, now the child is stressed, in depression. The father is broke because the father sold land, sold a cow to pump what? To pump someone's miseducation. The mom, of course, just as like moms, for the mom will just hide in the bedroom and cry. So feels shame. What next? You realize that your child cannot look in your eyes because they feel they betrayed you. They betrayed the entire family. So it does not just break the child, but the entire family. And not just the family, but the community, the whole community. Because guess what? The community that would have 100 kids that are creative, being trained to solve community problems. But now they are back in the community, unemployed, nothing to do. They're just there looking for jobs instead of creators. So the community loses a creator. Not just the community, the region also gets affected. So the region loses innovators because guess what? Like this, Central Kampala. You realize that when you look at the northern region or the eastern region, guys come from there to Kampala to seek for what? To seek for jobs. From northern region, eastern region. So who is going to develop the northern region? Who is going to develop the western region? Who is going to develop the eastern region? If they are here looking for jobs, which is not bad, looking for something. But we need to question the genesis of all this chaos. Make sense? Cool. So the region loses an innovator. Not just the region, but also the country. See, when you look at Uganda, almost 500,000 people leave Uganda. Youth leave Uganda seeking for greener pastures. Smart brains, sharp brains that would have been here developing the country, leveraging on all the resources here and provide solutions, solve problems. But all that is imported outside. That is how the country is lost. The economy is also lost. Does that make sense? But not just the country, the continent. The continent, Africa, is known as a continent with arable land, but it is not used, with almost 70% youth. But the youth are seeking for employment. They aren't creative. They aren't productive because they cannot think. They're not curious. Curiosity was killed at age 3 when they showed CEO signs, when they showed signs of wanting to know. Make sense? So that is how we lose. That is the blue pill. Let's look at the red pill. Red pill that I chose to take because I wanted a different test of education for my kids that molds them to be owners, not beggars, not employees. Make sense? To be non-conformists. Yes. Red pill. Between the ages of 0 to 3, 0 to 6. Here, you are looking forward to finding that one thing which is called purpose. As a parent, instead of killing the curiosity that kills the creativity, you ask, who is your child? Not their name. not their gender, but their DNA. What's that thing in their DNA that is called purpose? Why is this boy, this girl here? When you find the purpose, you have found the operating system upon which everything runs, be it education. Because education without purpose is just information. It's just noise. That's the right word. It's just noise. Because purpose is destination. Information must take you to a destination. But there is no destination. So it's noise. See, the word is information. Information. Break it down into two. Information. So whatever you take in must form you into somebody. Somebody. That's the power of purpose. Because once purpose is found, you will not now eat noise. You will eat substance that takes you to your destiny. So when you find your child's purpose, you find their flow. So this helps you to acknowledge what 80% of information your child must consume, not to feed on 16 or 8 etc. subjects. What? For what? Prioritize. That's it. That is what purpose does. So 80% of you'll acknowledge 80% of information that your child must consume, and also the environment your child must stay within to be productive, to grow and make an impact. So that is between age 0 to 6. Now between age 7 to 14, what happens here? Problem identification. Problem identification. Identification. Now here you have the first P, which is purpose. Now the next P, problem. Problem. Because purpose without problem, it's just a nice feeling. It's just a nice feeling. Purpose must be attached to a problem, particular problem in the community. And that is how you start the journey of building an owner, a creator, a guy that is going to leave this world better than they found it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Stay with me. So problem, you're going to expose the child in the society, in the community, in the world, and find that one thing the child is so much attached to and align it with their purpose. So now you have, this is between age 7 to 14. Now you have purpose and now you have a problem. What next? Money. You build a business. Build a business. That is between the ages of 15 to 20. 19. Let's call it 19. 15 to 19. Now the child builds real business because purpose is in existence, problem solved is in existence, and they have curated a solution for that particular problem, and now they have found that their target audience who is now giving them money. So by age 19, your child must have a business. By age 19, your child must have what is termed to be experience because they have embraced the whole stuff. They have first knows because they started working on themselves long time more. They have the experience. Make sense? Make sense? They have different mentors that are mentoring them in particular fields. Yes, not stressed. Adults that stand as their teachers. And I'm using the word stressed because not to offend, but to tell the truth. And they have no problem because they are also brain-cuffed by the system that came, whose genesis is to build obedient employees. Stay with me. So by age 19, your child must be like that. They know who they are. They know the problem they are solving. They know their target audience. So they have built a business already. They have the experiences. They have the experience. They have made mistakes. They have learned, repeated. And now they are competent at that particular thing that is in their DNA. Does that make sense? Cool. By age 20, to 25, where the one who went through the school system is asking, Mommy, Daddy, I have graduated, what next? This one of the red pill is asking, Mommy, Daddy, please can you come and look at what I've built? Please, Mommy, Daddy, where can I invest this money that I've generated? You see the difference in the questions? So this one is an owner. The red pill builds an owner. The blue pill builds an employee. The red pill builds a creator. The blue pill builds a beggar, a follower, a consumer, someone who waits for permission to be great. This one is like, nah, I'm in. Because they are born CEOs. They are born owners. They have found their purpose. Does that make sense? So, you see, I've shared with you the whole journey of your child from 0 to 25 when they have gone through the school system that I call the imported school factory system, that it builds this one. Like it or not, take it. That's the truth. And I'm the only guy in Africa that will tell you the truth. The red pill builds an owner. But now, most parents are like, you know what, Dan, how about if I build my child as an owner at age, probably after PLE, after O level? No, see, don't waste the time. Start at age 3. Start at age 3. If you realize that, oh, your child loves to be a doctor, that's what they love. That's their purpose. Start educating. You see, purpose tells 80% of information you take in has to be in line with your purpose. So take in that information, help them take in that information at age 3. Instead of channeling them to kindergartens where they are brainwashed, channel them to institutions. Let them feed information that is in line with who they are. That's how you build an owner. You don't build an owner at age 25 when they have graduated. You build an owner at age 3. That's why I started teaching Daniella when she's 1 day old. Crazy? Yeah. Because you lack wisdom to acknowledge how you can do it. I am the guy who knows how to do it. That's why I'm the guy who can help you nurture your child to become an owner without the school factory system. I have a skin in this game. I started teaching Daniella at 1 day when she's 1 day old. By age 3, she was buying her first property. Yes. Age 5, as I speak, as I record this video, she's leading a team of other kids where she helps them, she inspires them to ask, follow, and prioritize their purpose. Age 5, she hits the street and builds fundamental relationships with the strangers because she acknowledges she's a CEO. And relationships are key in the life of an owner. Derek is a 4-year-old guy. This is a guy that is like, oh, Daddy, I'm a man. I'm thinking I must solve problems. Not because they're special, but because the environment curated for them helps them to think as owners, as creators, not as employees, beggars, or waiters. Please, the choice is yours. I'm not asking you to believe in my vision where I'm building an Africa where CEOs are not trained as employees, because I refuse to let my kids be the only free ones. I am asking you to find that one thing, very special thing in your child, which is purpose. You and I never got because we passed through a school factory system that killed ours. Our ancestors betrayed us. We can't blame them, but we cannot stand to betray our descendants. The choice is yours. Swallow the red pill or stay comfortable with the blue pill. I remain DK. I'm just your boy. Good luck.